Now we will see the program number 6. In this program number 6 we have to find out the linear convolutions of two sequence using MATLAB. The convolutions means the multiplication of two sequence. Here we use the two sequence, and by using these two sequence we will plot two graph for two sequence, and we will find out the convolution of these two sequence, means the multiplication of these two sequence and graph for this multiplication of sequence by using the MATLAB. Now we will see the program for linear convolution of two sequence. This is the program for linear convolution of two sequence is very simple. So we will see the program for linear convolutions of two sequence. First you have to take two sequence and use the convolution syntax for multiplication of these two sequence. But how it will be written in the MATLAB? It will be seen here. Now this is our program. X is equal to, in square bracket, the sequence is 1, 0, 1, 2, -1, 3, 2, square bracket complete. Now this sequence, there are the how many samples? There are the 5 samples. So n1 is equal to length of small x in length of small x, and this of means you have to write down the first sequence in the round bracket. After that, this round bracket you have to insert the semicolon into the program. In next line you have to write small n is equal to 0 is to 1 is to n1 minus 1. Why we write here n1 minus 1? Because one samples will be removed from this sequence after the multiplication. So we have to write down n1 minus 1. In next line you have to write subplot syntax, because we know that there are the 3 graphs available for this linear convolution program. For writing 3 graphs we have to use subplot syntax. So write down this subplot in round bracket 2, 2, 1. He 1 indicate the first figure. Round bracket complete. After this round bracket you have to write comma. You have to write the comma and write down this stem syntax for x sequence, and it will be written as stem in round bracket n comma small x. Here n be the small ones. Here n be the small one, because small n be the sample which is start from 0 is to n1 minus 1. n1 be the number of samples available in the x sequence. Now we will draw into the plot. So for plotting the graph you have to write x label in round bracket in a single inverted comma small n round bracket complete. After that you have to give the comma and y label in round bracket x of small n in the single inverted comma bracket complete. Now this is our first sequence. In next sequence same format will be written for h, and next sequence is our h. This is a small h is equal to in square bracket 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 2 comma 1 comma 1 square bracket complete. After the completing of square bracket you have to give the semicolon as I have told earlier. समझ ना? So after that n2 is equal to length of h. We know that in a linear convolution in problem there will be the reduce of the samples. So n1 is equal to 0 is to 1 is to n2 minus 1. This n2 for the length of h sequence. This n2 be the length for h sequence, and you have to write down the subplot syntax in the same way, but you have to write 2 to 2 here. You have to write 2 to 2 here, and y label of single inverted comma h of n single inverted comma h of n bracket complete. This bracket will be the round bracket and followed by the semicolon. Now here there is the availability of two sequences. So for the linear convolution you have to write the syntax for convolution. The syntax for convolution is small y is equal to conv means convolutions. Convolutions means conv in bracket small x comma h. After the completing of bracket round bracket you have to give the semicolon. Now we know that there is the subtraction of two samples, so you have to write down the next sequence means y have the next sequence n2 equal to 0 is to 1 is to n1, this n1 from the first sequence plus n2 from the second sequence. This minus 1 will be added here, and next minus 1 from the n2 will be again added here, so it will give rise to the minus 2 here. So you have to write n2 equal to 0 is to 1 is to n1 plus n2 minus 2 followed by the semicolon. Now for getting the plot you have to write subplot in bracket 2 1 2 followed by comma and stem n comma x in round bracket. You have to write this stem n comma x in a round bracket and bracket complete along with semicolon. Now x label and y label y of n. As we write this in the in this program for x sequence and y sequence, and after that you have to give the title for this graph, that is convolution of two sequence x of n and h of n. You are getting the output. Whenever we run this program on MATLAB, you are getting the output in this way, which containing 1 0 1 2 minus 1 3 2 as a output, and including 3